Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about one of the Leet code array question, which is longest harmonious subsequence. So this is question number 594 of Leet code, and this says longest harmonious subsequence. So let me try to tell you what it is and then how we can solve it. So let me try to come out of it and go to the Leet code here, and it is a question number 594. You can go there, and it says longest harmonious subsequence. So what this problem is and how we can solve it out. So let me try to read out this problem first. So we define a harmonious array as an array where the difference between its maximum value and its minimum value is exactly 1. So harmonious array is the array where the difference between the maximum value or maximum element and its minimum element is exactly 1. Okay, so the harmonious array could be like 1, 1, 1, 1 and 2. So there are 5 elements, 4, 1 and 1, 2, and the difference between the maximum element and the minimum element is 1. So this is a harmonious array and its length is 5. So that is what we have to return. What is the length of the longest harmonious subsequence? This is one of the example of harmonious subsequence. Okay, we have to find out, like we are given an integer array nums, return the length of its longest harmonious subsequence among all its possible subsequence. So an array can have so many subsequences, but we have to find out the maximum, or you can say longest harmonious subsequence, and we have to find out its length and return it out. That is what we have to do here. Now coming to the subsequence, a subsequence of array is a sequence that can be derived from the array by deleting some or no elements without changing the order of the remaining elements. So this is what subsequence is. Now here you can see 3 examples are given. The first one says we have the numbers like 1, 3, 2, 2, 5, 2, 3, 7. And the longest harmonious subsequence from this array is 3, 2, 2, 2 and then 3. Okay, and its length is 5. So that is what we have to return. So the output for us would be 5. Now coming to the second example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the longest subsequence would be either 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 or 1, 4. Anything is fine. And its length would be 2 always, right? Coming to the third example, we have only 1, and if you'll find out the difference between the max and min element, it is 0. So this is not having a longest harmonious subsequence, because if you are going to take 1 and 1, then again the difference between them would be 0. So that is why we are mentioning the length as 0. So this is the problem. Now let me try to give you the solution for it, and then we'll try to write down the code for that. So just I'm going to copy it out, and I'm just going to use a notepad here to explain you the solution. So just, yeah, I already have copied this array, and here you can see what we are going to do is we are going to convert this array into a map, and the map would contain key as a element and its count as a value. So if you don't know how the map works, map has the entry, and each entry has key and value. Okay, so if you are going to create a map, it has so many entries inside it, and the entry contains key and value. So that is what we are going to do. This array we are going to convert into the map, and the map would have key and value pairs. Okay, the key would be the number itself, and the value would be the count of the key. Okay, so how many times that number is existing inside this array, that would be our value for that particular key. So the 1 is coming 1 time, that is why we put 1 and 1 for the first entry. 3 is coming 2 times, that is why we put 3 as a key and its count as a value, which is 2. Again, if you'll go for the 2, it would be, key would be 2 and then its value would be 3. 5 is the key and the value is 1, and then 7 is the key and its count is 1. So this is the map that we converted out of this array. Now how we can find out the longest subsequence? So what we are going to do is once we have this map, we are going to we are going to have the list of this entry key. Okay, so we are going to have a list of key. Okay, and then we are going to find out the difference between the key. Okay, so let's say the first key is 1 and the second key is 3, and their difference is, if it is 1, then what we are going to do is we are going to add these values and then keep it as a maximum length. Okay, and if it is not the maximum, we are going to compare the next key, and we are going to find the we are going to add the values of these next two keys, and then whatever is maximum, we are going to put that in the max. So we are going to create a variable called max. We are going to have a sum of this first two, and then sum of the first two keys value, and then put it into that max value. And next time when we are going to consider this 2, then we are going to update the max with the maximum value that we are getting. If the max is the first one, we are keeping that max as that, and if it is the new one is greater than the max, then we are updating the max with the new one. That is what we are going to do here. So let's say for the first one we are failing here because the difference between the key is not 1. So we are not going to keep the max as 3. We can initialize our max. Let's say I created this value called it's a variable called max, or you can say longest, and let's say I just put it as 0. When we are going to iterate through this map, what we are going to do is we are going to compare these two keys first, like 1 and 3, and if their difference is 1, we are going to add their values and then keep it in the max and update the max according to the new one. So let's say the difference is not 1, then we are not going to update the longest. Again, we are going to compare this next two, which is 3 and 2, and their difference is 1, right? So once their difference is 1, what we are going to do is we are going to add their values and keep it in the longest. So the longest is 0. We are going to find out the max of longest and this 2 sum. Whatever is max, we are going to put it in the longest. Again, when we are going to the next one, which says that difference between these two is not 1. Right, so we are not going to update the longest. Again, the same thing we are going to do here, which is says not 1. Then we are not going to update the longest. So again, the longest would have 5, and then that is what we wanted from the solution, right? So let me try to come out of it and then go and write the code for it. So I'm going to this Leet code, and here we are going to create the map first. So let's say I'm going to create the map of integer, and let's say it is map equal to new hash map integer and we are good. Now we are going to create the map out of this array, and we are going to keep the count of each element of the array as the value of that map. So let me try to do that. So what we are going to do is we are going to iterate through this array first. So int I equal to 0, I is less than nums dot length, and then I plus plus. Then we are inside this for loop. Now what we are going to do, we are going to find out if the map contains key, and inside the key we are going to pass this nums I. Each element we are going to see first if it is already there in the map or not. If it is there, then what we are going to do is if it contains, then map dot put nums I, and then map dot get nums I plus 1. So whatever count is there, we are going to update it by 1 or increase it by 1 if it is already there. If it is not there, then else for the first time, if this number is going to added in the map, then we are going to keep the count as 1. Okay, so that is what we are going to do here. So we are good. We created our map. Now we are going to create the variable longest here. So let's say int longest equal to 0. We are initializing it with the 0. Now what we are going to do is we are going to iterate through the key set. Okay, so for that, let me try to create a for loop, and let's say this is for loop, and we are going to find out the key set here. So map dot key set, and we are good. We have the key set, and we are going to compare these two key sets. Okay, so let me try to do this. So what we are going to do is let's say if we have the next key as well, so map dot contains this key plus 1. Okay, in that case we are going to, so what we are doing is we are just trying to, either you can keep two keys and then find out the difference between them, and it should be 1, or you can find out the next key with the plus 1 as a value. If both exist, and then what we can do is we can sum their values and then we put it in the longest. Okay, so let's say longest equal to max, or you can say math dot max, right? And then longest, whichever is the maximum, we are going to put that in the longest. Either it can be longest or it can be the sum of this two keys value. Okay, so map dot get key, or sum that map dot get key plus 1. Okay, and I think we are good. We can return the longest, and we are good here. So we are out of the for loop, and then return the longest. Okay, now let me try to run this piece of code and then see how it is behaving. So we are getting some error here. What mistake we are doing? Variable k class addition. Okay, so it would be key, not k. So let me try to do that thing. Again, run this, and all the test cases are passing here. And now let me try to submit this solution and then see. So you can see it passed, and you can see it took only 16 milliseconds, and it beats around 70% of the solution. So this is how you can solve this question, which is longest, longest harmonious subsequence. Okay, so this is about the problem, and this is how you can solve this problem. So let me try to summarize you what we did here is we created a map which is having the count of the element, and then we are finding out the difference between these two keys, and it's we are keeping up the sum of their values, and whichever is maximum we are returning it out. So that is what we are doing here, and this is about the video, guys. If you like the video, please like the video, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.